Hello, everyone, and welcome to SuttonsDaze. If you're new here, my name is Lisa, and we're all about pantry preparedness. And it's not about politics. I work really hard to not talk about politics in general. You know, the right, the left, the middle, whoever, I don't care. If I mention the government, it's pretty much as a generalization that they have destroyed our food, are continuing to destroy our food, and allowing corporate greed to poison us on a daily basis, calling it healthy. That's as much as I'll talk about government. I received an email that I just thought I wanted to share, and I wanted to share my answer with you and to maybe chat about it a little bit and to see if I'm alone and I know I'm not completely alone, and I definitely know from the comments that there's some people on all sides very adamant in their beliefs. So I thought we would just have a chat because it's not about politics. It's really not. If I have a political opinion of any kind, it is a generalization that the government is destroying our food. It is destroying our health. It is being run by big pharma and corporations. Regardless of who sits in office, the people with the money are the ones forcing the decisions. They are feeding us food-like substances that is destroying our health, and then big pharma is coming in and saving the day. No, it's not, okay? Because all of those have side effects too, and it's not good. We have a lot of conversations about how our food is stored, about what is safe, about what is good, and this just kind of all plays into it as far as pantry preparedness goes. So I'm not going to tell you her name because I didn't discuss this with her, but this has been a couple of days now that this happened, and the email hasn't left my head. So I thought, let's chat. I got an email from T. We're going to call her T, okay? And she said she used the heading personal question because she knows some people are reluctant to answer her question. She's going to tell me a little bit about herself. She's almost 70. She lives in the Pacific Northwest. About a year ago, a switch flipped in my brain, and I went from your typical West Coast liberal to, quote, conspiracy theorist in a heartbeat. All my life, I thought my government was here to protect me and actually cares about me. I've since come to my senses. So my question is, are you a prepper for possible worst-case scenarios or just hedging your bet against inflation? I know a lot of preppers keep it quiet, including me, but it's not likely I'd go to Michigan to try to take your preps. She'd be interested in my answer. And I had to think about it for a few minutes because I guess I never gave it a whole lot of thought before. So this was my response, and I'll probably interject quite a bit. So I told her that I don't believe she's alone in her thoughts, okay? At 58, I've known for some time that the government isn't going to take care of us, and I also believe that it was never the intention that they do so. I really don't. The government is not there to take care of us. Somewhere, society shifted to level the responsibility of our welfare onto someone else's shoulders. Personal responsibility seems to be a thing of the past, but the fact is we are wholly responsible for ourselves, our welfare, our security. No one, and I literally mean no one, is coming to our rescue. At no time was the government supposed to take care of us. This was not our substitute mother here to make sure that the world is right, okay? That changed, I think right around FDR's time, right? That changed. And now the government is literally attempting to take care of a whole bunch of people. Now, in some instances, yes, it's needed. Should it be expected? Never. Never should it be expected. So when people look at it and go, well, the government's supposed to fix this for us. No, they're not. I wouldn't trust them to fix anything for us. They are run by the corporations. They are run by whoever lines their pockets. They don't care about you, especially if you're not paying taxes. They truly don't care about you. They are looking out for the general welfare of all citizens. but it was not their job to take care of you. Health, safety, and welfare, not responsibility to care for. It's something to consider. It's something to think about. Because if you think that the government is supposed to be here to take care of you, you're going to have a very rude awakening. That's not their job. Your mother, your father, your parent was the last person who should be taking care of you. After that, you should be taking care of yourself and finding a way to take care of yourself. Are we all going to have exactly the same things? No, we're not. No, we're not. I am not sitting here in this palatial farmstead, okay, with tons of acres and big equipment, and I'm sitting here on my secondhand couch in my manufactured home that I'm still paying for and will never see money out of. Nobody's here to take care of you. Nobody's here to take care of me. And I once remember when I mentioned, because if you're new here, you may not know. If you are not new here, you may not know. I never had children of my own. I didn't want them. And I remember working with a woman one time who, when this came up in discussion, she looked at me and she said, "Who's going to take care of you when you're old?" And I'm like, hopefully me. Hopefully me. Procreating for the purpose of having somebody to take care of you when you're old is kind of a sorry excuse for procreating. Now, I did go on to answer that I'm not so much a conspiracy theorist as I am a realist, okay? They're out to get us. We know it. Agenda 2030, Agenda 2025, Agenda 20 whatever. You will own nothing and you will like it. All the stuff that's out there. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I am a realist. And at my age, if the zombies show up, I'll probably tuck and roll over dead, okay? There's only so much fighting that I'm going to do. However, our daily and constant threats are job loss, health issues, weather issues, affordable, real food where they're not trying to poison us, okay? Will we likely go to war within the next 10 years? I firmly believe that we will. I absolutely believe that there will be a war within the next 10 years that the United States is heavily involved in. And our security is our, and so when I mention the war, I also think, okay, the security within our borders. There was a time, I'm old enough to remember, there was a time where nobody, the basic thought was nobody would invade our country. Nobody would invade our country. This is the United States of America. Who's going to invade us? We will kick your butt, take names, and go after your family, That's not the case anymore. That's not the case anymore. Is our security within the borders of our country safe from invasion? Not even a tiny bit. Not even a tiny bit. Are some of our worst enemies citizens of the United States? Yeah. Yeah, they are. Some of our biggest concerns should be citizens that are already here. Citizens that are making decisions for us. Citizens that are making the rules and the regulations regarding our country and what we get involved in and what we do. Our biggest threat, I think, comes from inside. And it's something that we need to pay close attention to, if you can handle it, because sometimes it just turns my stomach. I prepare every single day for emergencies, okay? Knowing full well that those can turn instantly into catastrophic, apocalyptic issues, because they really can. If you're looking at job loss, if you're looking at significant financial restraints that are unexpected, if you're looking at health issues or weather-related issues, and we're all getting weather-related issues that we've never encountered before. Until a few years ago, I'd never heard the word derecho. And now I heard that we might actually get one over the next week here in Michigan. A derecho in Michigan? Has it ever happened before? Come to find out it did. But back then it wasn't a common word to use. Now we've got, all these new big words to learn every weather season. But the weather is changing, things are changing, and as a result, weather emergencies are going to become more frequent. If you live on a coastal area, if you live near the water, you're most likely going to experience issues because of that. If you're living in a tornado-prone area, you're most likely going to have issues because of that. I'm here in the mitten, and we're going to be dealing with heat that we're not typically used to, because that's what is happening in the world. And so that's what I prepare for, is I sit down and go, okay, it is June 12th, and it is 84 degrees, which is kind of unusual. And what happens if this becomes normal? What happens if this gets hotter? What happens if this becomes normal, gets hotter, and there's no electricity? What happens if? And that's what sits down and goes through my brain on kind of a regular basis. How will I handle this? How will I do this? What can we do to make things safer? What can we do to secure ourselves financially, food-wise, health-wise, all the things, right? This year I have really taken up walking, and I have quite a hefty goal, considering I pinched a nerve in my foot, to put on some serious miles this summer and then into the fall. Now, the minute it snows, I can guarantee you I am not walking these streets, okay? But I will find another way to do it, because I realized that even though I'm getting older, my health is very, very important for any kind of sustainable preparedness. I'm not looking to carry a 50-pound backpack full of all my preps through the woods in a rainstorm or a snowstorm while defending myself against zombies. That's not what I'm here for, okay? What I am here for is to make sure that I can take care of my home and the beings inside of it that I am responsible for, to make sure that I can feed them, to make sure that I can keep a roof over their head, and to make sure that I can do everything in my power to keep them as healthy as possible. That is not the government's job. That's your job. That's my job. And at some point over the last few decades, the perception that it's the government's job to take care of us has become predominant. It's not. They're not going to. They will never put your best interests before theirs. Not going to happen. So what are you doing to make sure that you are capable of taking care of yourself? I know the demographic that watches this channel. I know that we're older. I don't have a whole bunch of under 40 people here. And I know, I had a chat today with a woman who is a subscriber, and I had a chat with her on the phone, and she doesn't trust the government at all in any way, shape, or form. And I can't say that I totally disagree with that. I don't trust the government, okay? I do trust science, but I don't trust the government. So we all have different vantage points for looking at this. We all have different beliefs. That doesn't mean that we can't all work together to make sure that we are doing the best that we can to take care of ourselves. Because it's not about politics. It's about sustainability. It's about independence. It's about responsibility. And that, to me, is more important than thinking that somebody else is going to take care of me. My standard rule is 1 foot in front of the other. Just keep putting 1 foot in front of the other, 1 bucket at a time, because preparedness is a lifestyle and it's a balancing act. Absolutely, it's a balancing act. Because if you delve too hard and too deep into it, then it does come across as conspiracy theorists to family and friends, okay? I'm not here to preach to anyone. I'm not here to convert anyone. I am here to teach safe canning so people don't poison themselves. I'm here to teach you how to use your preps, because it's important to know how to use them. You can't just buy them. They don't just magically produce what you want. You have to learn how to use them. I'm here to give you ideas and suggestions for how to be prepared for those weird emergencies that crop up. I have received a multitude of emails from people saying thank you because you mentioned this, I did this, and then this happened, and we were okay. That's what's important. That's what's important to me. So, T, if you see this, I hope that my answer was what you were looking for. But I'm interested in knowing, are you a conspiracy theorist or are you a realist? What are you prepping for? Throw it in the comment section down below. And if you want to check out different ways that you can add things to your pantry, check out this video right here. Until next time, everybody, be safe.